You've been blessed with the gift that is children. So you've committed your genes to the next generation, and now you need a car that will do everything. It's got to be good for Bunnings and camping and shopping and your kids and their friends and her parents and all the possible permutations of the 21st century menagerie. So you're stuck because what you want and what you need are conflicted. What you want is a 7-seat SUV. Everyone does. But what you need is a people mover. You know, a people mover. The automotive equivalent of having your ex-wife cut off your testicles with a rusty spoon. But it doesn't have to be this way. You know, I've been driving this Kia Carnival Platinum diesel for about a week now, and I friggin' love this car. Let's go back to the studio and I'll tell you why you should buy one instead of that SUV you've been lusting after. Let's get the basics out of the way first. That Carnival is huge. The front end and the back end are often in different postcodes. It's 5.1 metres long and change. Carnival is longer than a standard 7 Series BMW, and that's where the comparison ends, obviously. But it's just a frag shorter than a short wheelbase 7 Series like a 740 Li. And it's a bee's dick under 2 metres wide. Metric bee's dick. I picked up a Sorrento when I finished my week-long Carnival evaluation drive, and the Sorrento felt positively compact, svelte, sporty, anorexic. I never thought I would say that. Carnival's just huge and cavernous. The wheelbase is just over 3 metres. That's a foot longer than many SUVs. The back end can't even see the front end most days. You know, the horizon often gets in the way. This is why the Carnival beats an SUV as a people mover. It eclipses the Santa Fe, Kluger, Sorrento, etc. at moving people and luggage. It's actually longer than a Toyota Land Cruiser. It's almost one fully tumescent Ron Jeremy longer than a Land Cruiser, and wider than a Land Cruiser, not Ron Jeremy. I'm not making this up. That bloody thing is huge, and it's versatile. Kind of like Ron Jeremy, when you think about it. What a great actor. Bigger and more versatile than a Honda Odyssey, its closest competitor in the people mover domain. Carnival is the top seller among people movers, comfortably in front of Odyssey in second spot, and Daylight to everything else. So it's a big fish, albeit in a pretty small ocean. People movers are generally not that popular. If all you want to do is move people, the Kia Carnival is sensational, much better than its predecessor. But when you look at the sales so far this year, 2016 to June, the first 6 months, total people mover sales have yet to nudge 7,000 in Australia. The total for medium and large SUVs, overwhelmingly preferred by families, is more like 160,000. So more than 20-to-1 popularity split. They're not even in the same universes. SUVs are considered, at least partly, kind of sexy, the new family wagon, keeping up with the Joneses, and sadly, people movers have the underlying sex appeal of a discount vasectomy without anaesthetic. And that's a real shame because they do such a good job. Fashion versus function. That huge wheelbase and the massive length confer 3 fundamental benefits. First up, you get easy access to all the seating positions. Third row access is a complete bastard in most SUVs. Just the access. Getting to the third row in an SUV is perhaps okay if you're a kid or a monkey, but not much good for grandparents. And that real estate in the Carnival, all wrapped up in that vehicle, you get dirty big sliding doors. It's like industrial strength access. Second advantage, there's actual luggage space, even with an arse on every seat. In an SUV, you'd be lucky to fit a cut lunch in the back with all the seats deployed. More on that in just a sec. The third advantage, though, the third row is not actually a de facto torture chamber. Adults can sit there comfortably without having some bad Abu Ghraib flashback. And I guess no People Mover review would be complete without an exhaustive dissertation on the seats. So as they say in the classics, cover me, I'm going in. A good automated sliding door. Smells like opulence. And I tell you what, there is a lot of legroom back here, even with this seat way back. Air conditioning for rows 2 and 3, so if those kids are giving you a problem, just shut the air down and let the little bastards suffer. And take their phones too, so they can't call family and community services. That seating configuration is versatile too. Middle second row seat can fold flat and form a table, or you can leave it in the garage and throttle back to just 7 seats. Or just get one of the kiddies to chuck it out, big sliding door, as you drive. But safety first, make sure the kid is sitting on the curbside seat and they have to wear a seatbelt, and check for pedestrians. With row 2, seat 2 sideline, the configuration inside the Carnival is 2 + 2 + 3. So that's kind of roomy and comfy. There's just shy of 1 cubic metre of cargo volume with all the seats occupied. Try that in a Kluger, Santa Fe, Sorrento or Territory. If you stow row 3 into the floor, you get more than 2 cubic metres of total cargo capacity. And as a 2-seater, with all the other seats nipped and tucked away, there's just over 4 cubic metres of cargo volume to use. However, that's a hell of a lot of precursor chemicals. The seats are even odour and stain resistant, and People Movers never get randomly stopped by the cops, statistically. I'm just saying. The perfect Breaking Bad mobile. Bryan Cranston did such a good job in that show too. Awesome. Meanwhile, right down the back, well, getting in, not too bad. I guess you could call it half the fun. 2 adults could sit back here just fine, or 3 kids. Not so sure about your octogenarian parents, but hey, a fat middle-aged man could sit in the back of this on a long trip in relative comfort. And if we could only find one, guess we could put that hypothesis to the test. Fat, smug bastard. What? Okay, so Carnival plays out like this. 4 specification grades, S, SI, SLI and Platinum, plus 2 powertrains, the 3.3 V6 petrol and 2.2 turbo diesel. Both are front drivers with 6-speed autos. The price range, roughly $45,000 for the Carnival SV6 to about $65,000 for the range-topping Carnival Platinum diesel. You factor in a bit of a discount, obviously. We get pretty good discounts on Kia, and if you're interested in the market in Australia, just click right there. The diesel is the same 2.2 as you see in the Sorrento and Santa Fe, and it sells at a $2,500 price premium. Better economy and a lot more low RPM power. That's what's on offer if you tick the diesel box. It's the premium powertrain in the range, no doubt. The V6 is okay, it's thirstier and it needs a rev to perform. It's the same as the V6 in the Sorrento. I have a detailed report right there on petrol versus diesel more generally if you're still equivocating on that. I'd buy the diesel. Carnival's very safe too. There was a front floor integrity issue early on, but after a redesign, they're all 5-star, and that's since January 2016. The official score, 34.62 out of 37, comfortably in the frame for a 5-star ANCAP safety rating. And importantly, there are head-protecting side curtain airbags for all 3 rows of seats, and a rear-view camera is standard even on the base model. Obviously, there are some compromises with that base model Carnival S. Steel wheels, no parking sensors, no sat-nav, no big touchscreen, things like that. But you do get full Bluetooth auto headlamps, speed sensing auto door locking, 4 child anchorage points, they're all top tether compatible, and 3 of them are ISOFIX compatible as well. Plus every seat gets lap sash seatbelts. No one gets left behind in a crash. Keyless entry is standard as well, but it's a folding key, from Charles Dickens, plus 3 12-volt outlets and 3 USB charging ports as well. Nothing goes flat in a Carnival. There's also 10 cup holders and 4 bottle holders because nobody dehydrates in a Carnival, and 2 coat hooks because nobody, at least nobody in the front, deserves to look crumpled when they get out of a Carnival. So the range steps up through the equipment levels pretty logically. You spend more, you get more toys, like that. It's a sensible 4-step progression. The Carnival Platinum is extremely impressive if you've got 60-something grand to spend. It's great. 19-inch alloys, 360-degree camera vision, which is great because you're essentially reverse parking the QE2. You also get high-tech lights, all the high-tech safety stuff like forward collision warning and lane departure warning. You get front seats with power adjustments, about 1 billion power adjustments, plus heating and ventilation. It's really only 500 million adjustments, I think. At least that's what they said in the press conference. You also get radar-guided adaptive cruise control. There's awesome instruments and basically a huge array of other standard equipment. We could be here all day, including power sliding side doors and a power tailgate. But every Carnival gets a Space Saver spare tyre, and I really hate that. It's a big vehicle for a skinny Space Saver. The handling is, well, it's not razor sharp, but it's a lot better than it deserves to be. I guess time to face facts, right? Carnivals should come with a rudder and lifeboats. An Archimedes principle. It actually drives really well for a big people mover. Relaxed, competent. And the ride is great, and this is, of course, significantly due to Kia Australia's local suspension tuning, aimed successfully at making the Carnival crap road compatible for Australia. Here's how the competition plays out. Honda Odyssey, currently in number 2 spot, much cheaper, but needs to be serviced twice as often and has only a 3-year warranty against the Carnival's 7-year warranty. Much uglier too. That grille, what were they thinking? Plus the 2.4 engine from the Old Testament. Kind of a joke in a people mover. And the CVT transmission in the Odyssey doesn't help. Odyssey is simply the budget option. Hyundai iMAX, ageing and a bit too much like a van, which essentially is exactly what it is. iMAX has none of the Carnival's oversized but critically car-like demeanour. The Chinese LDV G10 is essentially unproven, so pretty hard to recommend. Toyota Tarago, kind of expensive and under-equipped, with a tiny warranty and too frequent service interval. Volkswagen Caddy, Caravelle and Multivan, clever concepts, nice styling, shame about the shit reliability, and the customer non-support almost guaranteed to earn your opprobrium. Citroën C4 Grand Picasso. Well, that vehicle is both beautiful and very clever. The pepper pots of people movers. Certainly dares to be different. Unfortunately, Citroën lacks traction in the Australian market, and this impacts on logistics and tech support, and there simply aren't that many dealers. Mercedes-Benz, expensive, anorexic warranty, not that reliable in the long term. You're just paying too much for the badge. But the arrogance is free, so that's something. My Carnival likes and hates. Plenty of inherent safety in the base model, including that reversing camera, plus full-length curtain airbags and a 5-star rating. Well done. But a Space Saver spare tyre, that's a joke on a vehicle this big. Imagine being loaded up for that big trip and have to drive the last 200 kilometres in the middle of the night in the wet at 80 kilometres per hour. I've had fun, that's not it. So overall range-wide safety, good Kia. Space Saver spare, bad Kia. And the other bad thing is intrinsic, the sheer size. Nature of the beast, until we get some smarty pants Elon Musk type to invent a real TARDIS. I kind of get that. Carnival is not too big to drive, you can certainly accommodate that. But there's this worrying trend of the shrinking parking space. Have you seen that? Some parking spaces today are as small as 2.4 metres. Trying to park a 1.95 metre wide Carnival in a space with just one Ron Jeremy of clearance on either side will be for many a bit too much like threading that camel through the eye of a needle. You'll need to get very familiar with the extremities, because a parking spot that's a breeze in a Mazda 3 is a precision manoeuvre in a Carnival. Here's the concluding Carnival conundrum. People who value form over function buy SUVs, and they're inherently compromised if all you want to do is move people and luggage efficiently. If you're a logical thinker who's done a bit of breeding and is unwilling to conform to the strictures of fashion, then the Carnival is absolutely the pick. It's really an excellent people mover. And what a pity more people don't actually get that. To save thousands on a Carnival in Australia, contact me at autoexpert.com.au. I get new cars cheap, minus that uplifting traditional dealership sales experience. I know you'll miss that. You and that special someone and your 5 kids on the showroom floor with a car salesman. Good times. Well done for all that breeding too, because if there's one thing the world needs, it's more human beings. I'm John Cadogan. Thanks for watching.